the 2019 gubernatorial election approaches, Citizen Information Network brings you the campaign promises of some of the governorship candidates in Lagos State. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu was born in 1965. He is the 2019 Lagos State gubernatorial election candidate for the All Progressive Congress. His campaign promises are construction of Agboyi Bridge in Koshofe local government, provide quality and affordable education for children from basic school to tertiary institution, increase the number of primary health centers, and also strengthen them so that more people can have access to quality health care. Jimmy Agbaje, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Olujimi Kolawole Agbaje, popularly known as Jimmy Agbaje, born March 2, 1957, is a Nigerian pharmacist and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 governorship election in Lagos State. His campaign promises include to invest as much as 50% of the state's budget on an education economy, which implies investing in the whole value chain related to education, from the physical infrastructure that facilitates training to skills development, competence building, and knowledge management, targeting a minimum of 1,000 megawatts of electricity in 4 years to muzzle up and boost the economic fortune of the people. Healthcare program built around health insurance schemes. Babatunde Gbadamosi, candidate of the ADP. The candidate of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, Babatunde Olalere Gbadamosi, popularly called BOG, was born in England, and his campaign promises include to build 10,000 housing units for each year of his 4-year term, to review public sector pay if elected as governor, to order large, high-volume roll-off ferries to take passengers off roads and onto the waterways. Citizen Information Network will bring you live updates on the governorship election scheduled to hold this Saturday, 9th of March 2019. Follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter at CIN Nigeria. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIN Nigeria and also log on to our website www.cinnigeria.com/live.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us, Citizen Information Network. Welcome back now, and of course, we just have to apologize for it's not been an easy day, you know. We've had to struggle with light power supply, generator, the disco, you know, a coal electricity distribution company. They've been very poor. In fact, it's a whole mess, I must tell you. And it's quite unfortunate that today of every day, our generator set had to go on strike. But well, we are very sorry. We are very sorry. You need to see me take off this agbada, this barbariga, and see what I have on. I became a mechanic. We all had to struggle to fix power. Even as we speak, we've not fixed the generator yet. But then the Eco Electricity Distribution Company, whether they mess us up since, they can't decide to give us light. Maybe as they talk now, they feel of the light again. But what you will do, if they off the light again, then we'll go off again, but our reporters then for the feed, still they say, and hopefully that time, maybe our generator will feed all the work. But regardless, our reporters on the feed go still they send off footages, and will they share them with you for our YouTube page and our website. Just stay with us. Thank you very much. Say you believe in Citizen Information Network. Not be our fault. But then again, we now have to come back to the discussion of the day. And of course, it's still our coverage of the State and House of Assembly election, talking about the governorship and House of Assembly election in 29 states, or 36 states for House of Assembly, and of course, 29 states for governorship. Yeah, we started our focus with Imo State. You know, we said earlier on that we'll focus on 6 states. Imo, Rivers, Kaduna, Kano, Lagos, and of course Kwara State. You know, so we started with Imo. We've talked about a lot about Imo State. Now let's move on to Kwara State. But do not forget that voting is still ongoing in most part of the country, because do not forget that the guideline states, the INEC guideline for this election stated that voting and accreditation would happen simultaneously, and it has been so in most part of the country. And of course, by 2 o'clock, nobody will be allowed to join the queue. So only those who are on the queue before 2 o'clock will be allowed to vote. So that is the situation as it is. So it's just 1:27 p.m. Nigerian time. So if you are watching us from any other part of the country, you can just get to convert that to know what the time is in your own location and to know when exactly, because we have just above 32 minutes to when voting will close. Yes, nobody will be allowed to join the queue by 2 p.m. Now, we're going to focus and take a look at Kwara State, the economy of Kwara State, the debt, the internally generated revenue, and of course the federal allocation to the state. But, well, I won't be doing it alone. And this time around, I do not have Raphael Uwaneri, the S-boy, on set with me. You know, oh yeah, because now I have the boy on set with me, Dr. Squid. How are you?
The boy without the hex.
The boy without the hex.
Oh, actually, wonderful. Yeah, I'm the boy without the hex. I left the.
No, I like that. Like, I'm the boy without the hex.
Yeah.
It's really
yeah, because actually I could have just been an ex-cadet though, instead of being an ex-boy.
Yeah.
So I'm the boy without the hex, but I'm the cadet without the hex too.
All right, and honestly now, let's look at Kwara State. You know.
Good.
Kwara State is very peculiar. It's a state in the north central.
Yeah.
And of course, just during the presidential election, we saw what we can call an upsurge in Kwara State.
Yeah, definitely.
In fact, it's a provocation of the political scene.
Yeah, the O2 movement.
Yeah, where we saw the Senate president losing to APC candidate.
He lost in all the local government.
Yeah, you know, and interestingly, a lot of people are looking up to Kwara to see, okay, what would be of Kwara during this election? What would be of Kwara during this election? Now, why we want to talk about Kwara? Now, let's look at let's start first with number of registered voters in Kwara State. Okay. And that is what we have on the screen. The registered voters in Kwara State is 1.4 million. That is 1,406,457. Now, the number of total collected PVC in Kwara State is 1,149,969. That is 1.14 collected PVC. Now, in the presidential election, the total vote was 486,000 in Kwara State. Should we expect the people of, because generally the report we've received so far is of low turnout, voters turnout, very low across the country. Should we expect the people of Kwara to come out en masse, or would the number really increase from that of the presidential, or we should expect a decline?
Yeah, hopefully. Personally, I believe because of the alienation of people and the traditional understanding of the people across Nigeria, people tend to vote more in a gubernatorial election than in a presidential election. Just as we expect people to vote more in the local election than the gubernatorial election. Why is this? Because the people they are close to, people are more affiliated to people they are close to than the people they are not close to. They will not vote en masse for a federal election because they won't have access to the president, and but they will be more closer to their governor. So I'm expecting that the people of Kwara and every other country, every other state in the country will come out for a gubernatorial election. And let's not forget, the House of Assembly is closer to the people. But because of the House of Assembly, people will likely come out more in a national election than in a general federal election. So I'm expecting a massive turnout in this election than what happened during February 23rd election.
Okay, maybe because I'm not really sure from what we are getting from our correspondent on the field in Lagos and even Rivers State and of course in Kano State and even Kaduna. Low turnout. Let's just wait to get to see, because honestly, if you look at Lagos, 5.5 million PVC collected.
Okay.
So in the previous election, the governorship presidential election, we are just less than 2 million, less than 1.5 million votes casted in that election. And if you look at Kano also, so if we now have 2 million people come out for this governorship election, it will still be low compared to the number
the percentage difference
of PVC collected. So, but we'll just wait for that, because anything above the number of the previous election is an increase.
Yes, definitely.
We'll just wait to see. Another key thing about Kwara State is, over the years, there have been a voting pattern in Kwara State.
Yes.
Where we've had it about the Sarakis dynasty.
That's yes, definitely.
You know, and
that's way back in 1978.
From the father to the son.
Yeah, Dr. Olusola Saraki to Dr. Bukola Saraki to the Gbemisola Saraki.
No, Gbemisola has not succeeded in
becoming the governor.
Yes.
They was representing them in the National Assembly.
National Assembly, you know. So now, for the very first time, we are seeing the Sarakis out of the picture.
Okay. No, the Saraki is still in the picture. No family representation.
Yes.
But Gbemisola is representing a political party, different from his brother's party.
Yeah, of course. But in we do not. There won't be any Saraki holding any elected office.
Yeah, definitely. But let's not forget, in 1993 election, Olusola Saraki did not represent, he did not feed any of his family, but he was actively involved in who becomes any who holds any political position in Kwara State. The same in 1999.
But let's not forget something that one of the difference would be the fact that in 1999, Olusola Saraki didn't contest the election.
Yes.
He didn't lose.
He didn't contest, he didn't lose.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Now, in 2019,
yes,
we have Bukola Saraki contested and lost. That's
what I want everyone to understand, because everyone has been saying that the Sarakis have been ruling Kwara for so long, since 1978. But I want you to understand that the Sarakis have been involved politically in Kwara to date. And they are going to be actively involved after now.
All right.
But only political position is what we should understand. The Olusola Saraki held position in 1979 and 1984 before the British took over, and until 2003 when Bukola came back. The family has not been holding positions.
Yeah, but they've actively been
involved in political calculations. So.
Yeah, but another thing is this now. Let's take a look at the IGRO of Kwara State.
Wow.
You know, the internally generated revenue. Our main focus is on 2016, 2017, and 2018. So now, if we look at that only, from the figure that we'll have the figure up on the screen for you to see. Now, most importantly, we have to look at this figure compared to the budget of the state and even the federal allocation.
All right.
For us to see how well Kwara State have done. Now, that is what they have on the screen. If you can see, for the IGRO for 2016 Kwara State, it's well over 17 billion.
Oh, good.
Now, it's increased to 19 billion in 2007.
All right.
Now, as at June 2018, they generated 10 billion.
Okay.
So that tells us already that they'll definitely do more, increase on. So, can we say Kwara is growing?
Kwara is
on the IGR.
Kwara is not growing.
Why?
Why Sarakis?
No, but from what we've seen.
Now let's be very sad about ourselves. The biggest name in Kwara State is the Saraki family. One, because the Saraki family, coming from Dr. Olusola Saraki, aligned with political ideology, not by political party, with the ideology of the populist.
Just a minute now. While you are that, let's just show the debt. Yes, the domestic debt for Kwara State for 2000.
Debt profile now. See now. Domestic debt.
Billion.
Yes.
In Naira.
Yeah, good.
Now we'll have the foreign debt come up also for 2016. But go on.
Let me first say with ourselves. The National Hierarchy was the same leader between 1979 and 1984.
Yes.
He's a medical doctor that gave health facilities to people, free health facilities. That's a fact. That's the basis in which the Sarakis dynasty have been ruling the Kwarans for long. Now, the Sarakis have a business empire which is basically a clan with the agriculture that surpass the IGR if they are paying their taxes very well.
Now, okay, then again, if you're still following us, what we have on the screen is
the foreign debt of $50.7 million. $50.7 million. If you convert to the Nigerian exchange rate at the moment. Now, let's be very simple. Our politicians everywhere now. Don't let's limit it to Sarakis.
Because we've not come to Lagos, where people can see that.
Don't let us limit us to Sarakis. Our political class are nonchalant and very different about the people, the major stakeholders in the national campaign and in governance. We have, if every of our business owners are paying the requisite taxes and levies, the IGR of state will be more than this, and in particular Kwara we are discussing now. We have people in Kwara who have large farms because of their influence in governance or influence in government, who don't sell any of their products to the immediate environment, not talk of Nigeria as a whole. The export. Now, then you should understand that this thing will affect the entire general revenue of their host community. Now, the people of Kwara, they are very right with the Otoge regime. The same thing is happening in Lagos, the same thing is happening in Oyo State. Otoge, enough is enough. That's what Otoge means in English. Now, we should understand that the things that are happening in our states, the political class needs to understand that the people that are in power are the people that have the massive votes. Those are the electorate. Those are the people that have the power to dictate governance in any state or country.
All right, we'll come back to this now, and also we'll get to talk about the presidential election result from Kwara State. Now we have our correspondent in Kwara State on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Yinka, how you doing now?
I'm fine, and you?
We did fine, sir, for Lagos here. So how everything for Ilorin right now? Where you did for Ilorin?
Everything is going fine. I just left the polling unit of Abdurazak, the candidate for APC.
Abdurrahman, the candidate of APC?
Yes.
Okay, so what can you say about the process so far in Kwara State, in Ilorin?
Everything is going on fine. There is security, everything is going on fine. The voters came out in mass to cast their vote, and everything is just cool. Okay,
now, as we did now, any tension or any brigade or happen for Ilorin for Kwara State?
As of now, I have not heard anything like that. Everything is going on fine. The problem we had is that we couldn't get interview with the APC candidates. They hasn't cast his vote yet.
Okay. Then now again, we know say una they Saraki polling units.
Polling unit, yeah.
Yes.
Been there.
We hear some chants of where people they chant the name of APC.
Yeah, some people were chanting the name of APC, some were chanting the name of PDP there, so it was like confused stuff there. So everybody was just there. It was crowded, so we couldn't even interview him where everywhere was just lousy. So that's why.
Okay. Now, at the moment now,
yeah,
the process of the election for Ilorin Kwara State, how transparent it be?
The process is going on fine.
Okay.
What's the question again? Can you?
Yeah. How transparent the process be? How transparent? How plain? How smooth it be?
It's very transparent. As in, we've interviewed few voters, and they said that this election so far is the best so far in the history of Kwara State. That it is very close to free and fair election.
Oh, okay. So as we speak at the moment, any concern for violence, any violence reported in Kwara State so far?
No violence report as at now.
Okay.
Till now, violence report.
Oh, okay. And what about the INEC ad hoc staff? They arrived on time?
They are all there. The INEC staff, they came out early. Everything was okay. There was no complaint. The card reader was working perfectly. Everything is going on fine.
Oh, okay. Then, as we dey talk now, voting still dey go on, abi they don't stop?
Yeah, vote is still going on. People are still casting their vote. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, what polling units are you?
I just left. What's it called? Brazak Abramon polling unit. Now I'm heading to another polling unit at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem. Adeni Yinka. We'll definitely get back to you again during the course of the broadcast.
All right, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right, you're still watching Citizen Information Network, and of course, that was Adeni Yinka, our correspondent in Kwara State. And of course, from all we've gotten from him so far, the process is free, it's been fair, and everything is going smoothly. And of course, no concern, no security concern. Now, let's come back to our analysis here in the studio as we get to take a look at the presidential election results in Kwara State. Of course, now one thing that is very certain, and one thing that we cannot ignore is the fact that Kwara 2019 is different from Kwara 2015 and even 11. And is this as a result of the electorate being tired or being influenced?
Okay. For people that understand the policies of Kwara or the geography of Kwara State, Kwara bounds Ekiti.
Yes.
To, let me say, to the west. Then it bounds Osun and Oyo to the south. Then Kogi to the east. Then it bounds Niger to the north. Kogi is being represented by an APC government. Ekiti, Osun, Oyo, and Niger. Bukola Saraki is a candidate, is a gladiator in Kwara who is from the PDP. They miss, just like when you are this thing, they miss off pegs. The neighboring states are APC control state. Now, the Lafiagis, close to the Niger, they have a personal affiliation, language, and tradition and culture to the Nupes of Niger, APC control state.
Some people will say they are all Nupes.
Nupes. Now I hear some people, but some of them will actually disagree.
Yeah.
Now the Omuaro of likes the Igbominas and Ofas have affiliation to Ekiti. In fact, Ofa was a point in time they were trying to push as another confirm as another assembly to spawn into one. They want to align with Osun State. They don't want to go to Kwara State. They are Yorubas. Even in Yorubas affiliated to Osun or Oyo State. Now let's go to even the Ilorin. Ilorin is close to Governorship in Oyo State again. Then these are states that are controlled by APC. So there are influences, there are intermarriages, there are canvassers. So we should understand that this is bound to happen. That's the only way they can be able to break a balance that have been existing for over 40 years.
Now, we'll definitely take this from here now. But most importantly, we saw the results of the presidential election from Kwara State on the screen, and we'll have that up again. PDP won in Kwara State.
Yes.
PDP won in Kwara State. Even though APC won all the senatorial seats in Kwara State.
Good.
Yeah. But the margin, I beg your pardon now, APC won in Kwara State.
Yeah, APC won.
APC won in Kwara State.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the margin, the difference between APC and PDP in Kwara State is so much.
Yeah, very, very much.
Even though we understand that the number of registered voters and the number of PVC collected is just a little above 200,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it's just above 200,000. But then, total vote cast, 486,000.
Yeah.
Why the people of Kwara refuse to come out in the presidential election? And why would they want to come out now for the governorship?
Okay. Now, before the election, there was political apprehension in every state in the country, not limited to Kwara. Now, there was a battle of gladiators between the Senate presidency, the National Assembly, and the executive arm of the government. That's executive versus legislators, which Dr. Bukola Saraki is the chairman of the National Assembly and the president of the Nigerian Senate. He is contending for Senate in Kwara. His younger sister, who was in the House of Rep for long, who wanted to become the governor of the state, is in the APC. The neighboring states, as I've mentioned, Niger, Kogi, Ekiti, Osun, and Oyo, are APC control states. It's a fight to finish. Now, the people of Kwara State are saying enough of the Saraki dynasty. The same thing Dr. Bukola Saraki preached to his father in 2011, 2011 election, that enough of Saraki being governors. Now they are bringing it back to him. Enough of Saraki's governor in 2011, but now in 2019, enough of Saraki representing us. A valid point. Now, it's not supported by the neighboring states who are influenced by APC members.
Now, but one thing we have to look at now, should we really expect the result of today's election in Kwara State to go in line with the presidential election?
No, personally, I won't expect that, because I want to believe that the people of Kwara, the president, does not have a direct influence on them. Most dividends of governance in this country, let me say what I said, is the footprint and plans of governors in each state.
So are we saying here that the people want Saraki out, but not necessarily want PDP?
People want the Saraki family house, but they might not want the PDP out. And now, they have a choice.
To choose between the people.
I'm not from Kwara.
I'm not from Kwara.
So they have a...
We are just looking...
I want to believe that the people know their politicians so well, more than us analyzing their issues.
No, but you know...
But now I want to believe that one thing is this. Politically, I want to believe that the people of Kwara, they are more aligned to a particular political party, but I don't want to mention.
No, but one thing we can just say is that if we look at the election from all across the state so far, we'll discover, especially looking at the presidential, we'll discover that so far Nigerians have not voted. In my own opinion, it would be wrong to say Nigerians have voted along party line.
Yeah, that's very...
We've seen, let's look at Ondo State, for example.
Oh, good.
The presidential.
The incumbent is an APC. Well.
And APC lost all senatorial seats.
Even in Oyo State.
Even in Oyo State. The incumbent governor lost his senatorial ambition to a PDP candidate. Now, we know what is going on and the alliance that is being formed in Oyo State and all the rest. But then, now, still in Kwara State now, let's look at another important thing about Kwara State. Let's look at the number of out-of-school children. I've seen the figure and I can say one would have thought that it would be so high in Kwara State because of the fact that it's in northern Nigeria. But then we have this figure to share with you about the number of out-of-school children in Kwara State. This is something that is very interesting because of the fact that Kwara State over the years somehow pride themselves as one of the most educated states in the North Central.
Yes, definitely.
In the North Central. And now, to some people, it might just be like impossible to see children of school age who are not going to school in Kwara State.
But I want to grant an impression.
Yeah.
Kwara State is not in northern Nigeria. It's only a North Central by nomenclature. It's by nomenclature.
Well, what do you mean nomenclature or northern Nigeria?
Because
how do you draw the line?
Nigeria was divided into 6 geopolitical zones.
How do you draw the line?
By nomenclature. Now, the North Central is closer to the south than the north.
We have the map here.
Kwara is closer to the south than the north. if you divide, if you want to divide Nigeria.
I just drew a line across it.
That I'm saying now.
I don't know if we can have this on the screen. If we can zoom close on this now. We have this. We have this. We have this. This is just a map drew across. We are going to zoom in close on this now. This is a map. I just drew a line across the Nigerian map, and of course, I just drew a line across this now, and that is what we are trying to bring a close focus to you. Yeah, but honestly, if you can see this, that is just a line there. That is just a line there across it, you know. And Kwara State cannot be said to be anywhere. Just look at it. The line I drew across, honestly, will tell you that Kwara State has some part of it in this is Kwara State. This is Kwara here. That's Kwara I'm pointing at. This is Kwara. And that is the line I drew across. So how can we say Kwara is more close to the south? This is Kwara. This is the line I drew across.
But even if I want to argue this thing,
yeah.
Where is the Federal Capital Territory?
The Federal Capital Territory, obviously, from this line, is more closer to the south.
Yeah? But the Federal Capital Territory will be acknowledged to be a northern premises, because it was an old Niger state.
Very good. Old Niger state, I have to bring this down. But looking at this closely, if we look at the old Niger state, very good. But definitely we cannot take away about the influence of those who make up Nasarawa State and Kogi State and their impact in the Federal Capital Territory.
Oh, very nice. I love you mentioning Nasarawa State. So now I say that Nasarawa State is a southern state, but Nasarawa is more to the south than even Kwara State.
That's what we are saying. That's what we are looking at.
That's what I'm saying now. Now, let's not forget something now. Traditionally, by tribal affiliations, Nasarawa is more to the north than Kwara to the north.
All right, interesting discussion here. We'll look at the depth profile of Kwara State also as we continue in this broadcast. It's very interesting. I have, all right, now we have one of our correspondent from Kano, Mukhtar, on the line. Hello, Mahmoud Mukhtar.
How are you?
Yes, Suleke, I'm very fine. How is everything in Kano at the moment?
Well, everything is going fine here in Kano. There is peace. People come out to vote. It's only that it's poor turnout, not like the presidential.
There is what? But, you said low voters turnout?
That is poor turnout, but people used to come out now massively because in the early hours there is poor turnout, but by now people are coming to cast their votes peacefully. There is no any trouble. And we've been going around all the polling stations, all the security are tightened, and then people are coming in to vote, both women and men. Yes.
Okay, so at the moment as we speak, if you say low voters turnout in Kano State, what do you think is responsible?
You see, this question of responsibility, I cannot say directly, but you know, in every election there is a logic. There is secret logic, there is open logic. So the proprietors may be from one party or the other. But initially, wherever I visit, there is peace, there is no trouble. People used to come out and vote, but not like presidential votes. There is poor turnout in this gubernatorial and House of Assembly. But they do come out to vote.
Okay, right now it's just 4 minutes to 2 p.m.
Yes.
Is voting still ongoing in Kano State?
Come again?
Is voting still ongoing in Kano State?
Of course, voting still going on. And you know Kano politics, even if it's past 2, they will continue voting. Nobody will stop them because it's Kano. But voting is still going on.
So tell us what you've seen so far from the polling unit you visited.
Come again?
The polling unit you visited today.
Yes.
What can you say about the security presence?
Yes, from here we'll go to the annex office after. But I'm sure we'll be there maybe up to midnight then, as we do for presidential. But The annex staffs are now counting the votes, you know, putting it inside the normal place.
Did you say, hello Suleke?
Yes.
Did you say counting the vote?
Come again?
Did you say counting?
Yes, they are counting votes now. There's some, you know, these annex officials, some have finished their work now. Vote is finished some place, but some places are still working. So those that have finished their own, they've been counting the votes, putting it inside the ballot box to carry it to go to EO office. Now we'll be going for operation to EO office of the local government to ask them some questions very soon.
Hello, Suleke.
Hello?
Yeah, so do you think at the moment that the people of Kano have a favorite already?
Have what?
Hello?
The people of Kano?
Yes, Suleke.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is report of military presence in most states of Nigeria.
Yes.
Do we have the presence of the military in Kano State?
I don't think there is any trouble in Kano State.
No, I mean the military. Is the military, can you find the military men, personnel on the road in Kano?
Of course, we only see, you know, they are in convoy. There are military, police, civil defense, immigration, and other law enforcement agencies. They are only going around so that if there is any trouble, they will help police. But there isn't any trouble, but they are in convoy with ammo, with sophisticated machines for, you know, military machines. There is even one vehicle I've never seen it, only this time I've saw it, just like they're going to war. But there is still peace.
Oh, okay. All right, Suleke, thank you very much. We'll get back to you. We'll come back to you again to hear more latest from Kano State. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks to the studio managers and engineers. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Suleke. That was our correspondent, Suleke.
Okay.
Yes, proudly referred to as a senior correspondent of Citizen Information Network. He's that man that will always introduce his cameraman and his driver. Yes, and of course, yeah, Kano is peaceful. Some polling unit voting has ended already. Now, before we move to Kano State and take a look at Kano State, let's look at the debt in Kwara State, the debt profile of Kwara State. Talking about the domestic debt and, of course, the foreign debt in Kwara State. Interestingly, Kwara State hasn't really done so badly.
Okay.
We've taken a look at the internally generated revenue from Kwara State. And interestingly, we can say that they've grown the revenue. Maybe not so up to expectation, you know, because of course the strategic positioning or location of Kwara State. Now, what we have on the screen now is the 2017 debt, domestic debt of Kwara State. That is 38 billion in 2017. I just can't take my eyes off that of Lagos, even though we're talking about Kwara. Now, foreign debt for 2017 for Kwara State. You have it now on the screen. The foreign debt for Kwara State, of course, is $48.9 million. So, can we say they don't sell Kwara State already? Local debt 38 billion, foreign debt $48.9 million. $48.9 million, not be small money, not be
by standard. By standard, the people of Kwara will pay that debt for 100 years or more.
And how you they talk now?
But by comparison
to
the other 35, some states, Kwara is doing fine. But the truth of the matter is this: the western region of Nigeria grew their economy from agriculture. Let us be clear on this. Apart from civil service, the major source of income in Kwara is agriculture. In fact, I can categorically say that I have not seen any major politician in Nigeria or any major business owner in Nigeria who does not have a commercial farm.
Yeah, but maybe not.
I have not seen. I didn't say it doesn't exist.
Yeah, but maybe not in Kwara State.
In Kwara State?
Yeah.
Okay, I can say now, there is no politically active person in Kwara State who does not have a commercial farm in Kwara State. No, I'm not saying it can have another state. I'm saying in Kwara State.
But what is the landmass in Kwara State? When you look at the neighboring state like Niger State, you want to ask yourself,
another state.
How big is Kwara?
How big is Kwara? Let's start talking about that. Let's not leave statistics. Let's leave what's on paper. Have you traveled from Ilorin, through the Nupe lands to Jeba Bridge? I've seen the massive expanse of land you will see.
What I'm saying is, if we look at Kwara State, we're talking about agriculture.
Have you been to the farms that are owned by the Sarakis?
I've never been there.
Have you been to the farms that are owned by the Adesoris?
But let me go back to your first question. I've traveled all the way from Ilorin to Jeba.
Yes. And those expanse of land you see, lying fallow,
and that is what I'm
that can be conveyed by the state government.
And that is what I'm telling you, that Kwara is nothing compared to Niger State.
I'm not talking about the comparing Niger to Kwara State.
We are looking at the agricultural potential of
Kwara State, yes.
Very good.
Good.
Now that is the subject matter. Now if we look at that and compare to state like Niger,
okay,
compared to state like Kebbi and even Sokoto,
you should be comparing to a state like Lagos or Bayelsa.
Why Lagos or Bayelsa?
And why you compare with a bigger state? Why not compare to a small state?
It's to Bayelsa.
Why you compare to a small
Bayelsa
state?
is an agricultural state, but not in farming.
I'm saying now, but even in fact, even with the waterways, it's not as big as Kwara State.
We understand it.
Why are you not comparing Kwara with a small state? Why are you comparing with the bigger state? Why are you comparing with Osun State?
It's because you talked about.
Why are you comparing? Okay, Osun State is a agricultural based state. Why are you comparing Kwara with Osun State?
Now,
why is there Osun State?
Now, there's no reason we'll compare Kwara and Osun. This is one, because of the land terrain.
Oh.
Kwara is more plain and not as rocky as Osun State.
Oh, nice. Good. That's a very nice defense. That's the same way everybody has just been trying to manipulate the Nigerian electorate to believe what's not true.
This is not manipulation. This is talking about the land.
Let me tell you something. Agricultural crops are peculiar to their land terrains.
Thank you very much. So what?
I've not mentioned particular crop.
The crops that are
I've not mentioned. No, they are getting this thing differently. I've not mentioned a particular crop here. I'm talking about a potential of agriculture
in Kwara State.
Yes.
Yes. I heard you and I paid so much attention to your emphasis.
And I'm very particular about the political gladiators that owns commercial farms in Kwara State who majorly export their produce outside the confines of 4-degree north and 40-degree north, and that is the compass of the Nigerian state as it is.
And that is not peculiar to Kwara State.
And now, I cannot say emphatically here that we have a government between 2003 and 2010 who grew on state economy based on agriculture led by the Olosun administration, cocoa and cola nut.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Square. Interesting discussion. Do not forget that you can also be part of this. All we need to do hear from you is send us messages on WhatsApp, and of course that is our WhatsApp number on your screen, 08065350713. And now Kwara State, the debt profile 2017 featured domestic debt, well, billions, and of course the foreign debt, millions of dollars. And now away from Kwara, most importantly now, we have to take a look at Lagos State. We are here in Lagos.
Oh, Lagos, good.
And interestingly, Lagos is very interesting. And I must say to everyone who is watching us now that, Dr. Square said something. Maybe we do not have to compare Kwara to Niger State. And I want to say there's really no need for us to compare Lagos State to any other state in Nigeria. I will tell you why. We'll tell you about the economy of Lagos State. We'll talk about the politics. But now we have to take our, yes, we have to talk to Akim B, the Deputy Director of Public PRO of INEC in Lagos. So good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we are reaching you from Citizen Information Network studio, and we are live on our YouTube page and also on our website now with people watching us from across the country and even outside. So we just want to speak to you about the election so far in Lagos.
Well, from the report from our field officers, the election is peaceful, but recorded a low turnout so far. And aside from that, we have some minor issues to deal with in some local governments in the state. And this accounted for the reason why men and material arrived those polling units late. But notwithstanding, the process is fine.
Oh, okay, sir. Now, you just talk about the low voters turnout, the low turnout. What would you say is responsible? What could be responsible for this, sir?
I wouldn't know because in Lagos State, over 5 million people are with our permanent voters card.
Yes.
Then we don't know the reason why they would not come out to vote, despite the sensitization, despite the advocacy, despite all the I can't tell. Only those people that didn't come out can tell.
Can this be related to the violence experienced during the presidential election in some part of the state?
I don't think so, because over the week, Lagosians were assured of their security and that Lagosians should come out en masse and vote, because the issue that led to the disturbance of the election process in the last election was the squarely dealt with. Yet people didn't come out.
Oh, okay, sir. Now, let's talk about Okota. Okota, in fact, during the presidential election was in the news and it was trending all over. Any report from Okota so far?
The only report, there's no report from Okota. It seems everything is going on fine there. But because we have it's part of area where we have supplementary election, and then from the report so far, we haven't had any ugly incident concerning this area.
Oh, okay, sir. So you also talked about late arrival of materials. Yes, we got reports about this, and in fact, there was report about the late arrival of materials at the polling unit of Vice President Professor Yemi Osibajo, and even the APC candidate, governorship candidate for Lagos. So, are you aware of this?
I'm not aware, but I know the Vice President voted early, and then the APC candidate also voted very early.
Oh, okay. All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We hope to meet you again during the collation of results, sir.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you very much, Akimbeyi, the Deputy PRO for Lagos, INEC Lagos.
No, actually, it's the Deputy Director.
Deputy Director, yeah, Publicity and PRO. Publicity and PRO, is it not the same?
Yeah, but the Deputy Director, it's not a Deputy PRO, it's the PRO.
He's the PRO, yeah, Deputy Director of Publicity, yeah, he's the PRO, yeah, you're right. All right, that was Akimbeyi there. And interestingly, he talked about the low turnout, and that is not the case.
Let's be very, very sincere with ourselves. It's why INEC, we just want to be magnanimous with the total. What happened when the presidential election was uncalled for and nobody is ready to face that horror again? It was a horror moment. Now, it's just like many people have this fear of exercise my franchise, for voting franchise, I will lose my life. For people who will not remember me again.
Yeah. You are right.
Do you know that there is a rerun of National Assembly election, House of Rep in particular, in 6 zones of Lagos State because of the issue that happened the last election.
And they're talking about the rerun for the House of the National Assembly. One would wonder if you would conduct rerun for House of Assembly, why would you not have rerun for the presidential?
No.
But then again, no, it's about being sincerity.
No.
This election happened simultaneously. It was the same.
We have the constitution, we have the electoral act, we have the electoral guidelines.
Yeah. So
Rerun are made when the cancellation of result in a particular place. The number of voters supersedes.
Where is it stated really? Where is it written?
In the electoral act.
Where is it written? I have not seen it. Because you know why I've said I have not seen it? I can remember vividly in Kogi State.
Okay.
When INEC called for rerun.
Kogi State was a daylight robbery.
Wait,
Kogi State was a complete daylight robbery.
Whatever you have to say, but let's look at it again in Kogi State. Now, this was what happened in Kogi State. The APC candidate.
Yes.
With more votes, the reason that INEC gave for the rerun.
The reason was because the candidates. Now it was complicated. Now that's one thing.
What are you saying?
Let us understand this thing. The rerun now.
In Kogi State.
The governorship was a different thing.
2015.
The rerun was a different thing. You understand?
Well, what was the reason given by INEC for the rerun?
No, wait. The rerun was a different thing. The feeling of the candidates, the flag bearer after Audu's death, was another thing.
We're talking about the reason given for the rerun.
The of Audu put INEC into a state of confusion.
All right, at this point we just have to move on. My brother, we have to move on. The reason we have to move on is that maybe you forgot him. INEC quoted not the death of the APC candidate.
Yes, now the rerun. I understand the rerun.
Yes, so whatever we are saying, that is what I'm saying. That now let's look at the difference in Kogi State. The gap, the vote difference between APC and PDP then is much more than the number of registered voters.
Children from basic school to tertiary institution, increase the number of primary health centers, and also strengthen them so that more people can have access to quality health care. Jimmy Agbaje, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Olujimi Kolawole Agbaje, popularly known as Jimmy Agbaje, born March 2nd, 1957, is a Nigerian pharmacist and candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 governorship election in Lagos State. His campaign promises include to invest as much as 50% of the state's budget on an education economy, which implies investing in the whole value chain related to education, from the physical infrastructure that facilitates training to skills development, competence building, and knowledge management, targeting a minimum of 1,000 megawatts of electricity in 4 years to muzzle up and boost the economic fortune of the people. Healthcare program built around health insurance schemes. Babatunde Gbadamosi, candidate of the ADP. The candidate of the Action Democratic Party, ADP, Babatunde Olalere Gbadamosi, popularly called BOG, was born in England, and his campaign promises include to build 10,000 housing units for each year of his 4-year term, to review public sector pay if elected as governor, to order large, high-volume roll-off ferries to take passengers off roads and onto the waterways. Citizen Information Network will bring you live updates on the governorship election scheduled to hold this Saturday, 9th of March 2019. Follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter at CIA Niger. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIA Niger and also log on to our website www.cianigeria.com/live. As the 2019 gubernatorial election approaches, Citizen Information Network brings you the campaign promises of some of the governorship candidates in Kano State. Abba Yusuf, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Al-Aji Abba Kabir Yusuf is the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Kano State's 2019 gubernatorial election. Below are some of his campaign promises. To restore Kano State as the industrial hub of the nation, an all-inclusive government that would be based on open door policy, to provide free basic health care services, transportation equipment, and strengthen anti-begging policy. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was born in 1949. He is the incumbent governor of Kano State and candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the 2019 gubernatorial election. His campaign promises are more economic empowerment of women across the state, improve agriculture by reinvigorating fertilizer plants, improve peace and awareness across the state. Malam Sejir Take, candidate of the People's Redemption Party. Malam Sejir Take is the candidate of the People's Redemption Party in the 2019 Kano State gubernatorial polls. His campaign promises include to form a unity government that will ensure rapid development of Kano State and its people, to come up with programs and policies that would improve the lot of the common man, to collaborate with other stakeholders to tackle insecurity challenges. Citizen Information Network will bring you live updates on the governorship election scheduled to hold this Saturday, 9th of March 2019. Follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter at CIA Niger. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIA Niger or log on to our website www.cianigeria.com/live. As the 2019 gubernatorial election approaches, Citizen Information Network brings you the campaign promises of some of the governorship candidates in Kwara State. Razak Atunwa, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Razak Atunwa, born in October 1969, is the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2019 Kwara State gubernatorial election. His campaign promises include to put the interest of Kwara people first, to improve infrastructure in the state, provision of education and health care. Abdurazak Abdurrahman, candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Oil magnate Abdurazak Abdurrahman is the candidate of the All Progressive Congress for the 2019 Kwara State gubernatorial election. His campaign promises are to alleviate poverty and improve the standard of living of the people, to harness the human and material resources which are in abundance in the state, to provide security and create jobs for the youth. Citizen Information Network will bring you live updates on the governorship election scheduled to hold this Saturday, 9th of March 2019. Follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter at CIA Niger. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIA Niger or log on to our website www.cianigeria.com/live. As the 2019 gubernatorial election approaches, Citizen Information Network brings you the campaign promises of some of the governorship candidates in Kaduna State. Malam Nasir El-Rufai, candidate of the All Progressive Congress. Malam Nasir El-Rufai was born in February 1960. He is the incumbent governor and candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the 2019 governorship election in Kaduna State. His campaign promises include to undertake difficult reforms in the public service, in education and in health, empowering the youth and women in order not to create dependence, to double internally generated revenue without increasing tax rates. Muhammad Isa Ashiru, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Muhammad Isa Ashiru Kudan, born in October 1962 in Kudan local government of Kaduna State, is the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the forthcoming governorship election in Kaduna State. His campaign promises are to provide quality and in governance if voted into office, to review cases of those who were wrongly sacked accordingly, and reuniting the people of Kaduna State. Citizen Information Network will bring you live updates on the governorship election scheduled to hold this Saturday, 9th of March 2019. Follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter at CIA Niger. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at CIA Niger or log on to our website www.cianigeria.com/live.
Senior correspondent, CIN, Kano Island is well prepared because if you can see, all voting cards are all around, and the Professor Risqua Asian, show is well prepared for Kano. They believe there will be peaceful election because all the election officers are here to collect their items. In Kano, there will be peace as usual, and there's only 2 days remaining for the election. I assure you, INEC is well prepared. All materials are available for central work in the INEC office. And I assure you, for the 9th of this month, I'm very sure things will go correct. That's why I want everybody to know that Kano INEC is well prepared. The office of Professor Risqua Asian and PRO and Governor, they are all prepared. I'm sure Nigerians will be surprised because Kano is one of the most highest voting area. And today you can see, INEC is well prepared. We want us to come out and vote peacefully. In Kano, we have no problem. There is always peace. Thank you. Sleke Pagi, Sayan Kano.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Citizens Information Network area report. We are presently at Jeremy Felodu local government, where Isikalu Street precisely, where some incident was reported at the last concluded general election. We've spoken to some of the residents here and on the platform of anonymity, where they giving us accounts on how it went down. The big question, and of course, the question is, how will the turnout for the governorship election be come this Saturday? I need to take my hat back.
Are we good? Welcome. This is Will Boas. Good day.
All right, good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Focus 2019. My name is Raphael Wanere. We're presently at the Independent National Electoral Commission's office. We'll be speaking with the head of Voters Education and Publicity, Mrs. Ijeoma Ibokwe.
Okay, Ijeoma Ibokwe. I'm the head of Voter Education, Publicity, Gender and Civil Society Organizations, INEC Lagos.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am, quickly, during the last election, we went out and sourced for information from people, especially in Lagos State. There are some certain areas which are the flashpoints, like specifically Abuja, Agbo Palace Way, then Jeremy Fellow. And these people told us how their votes they were disenfranchised in terms of hoodlums coming to snatch the ballot boxes and everything. Please, can you tell us from INEC's point of view, what happened that particular? Because we saw videos that went viral. Some no police officers, no security personnel in those polling units. Some just one police officers. Would like to know.
Yes, we got to know too, and we observed some of the violent activities in those areas, and it's something we can't really explain, but it happened, and the commission is actually looking into it as it is. Some polling units were affected, and in those areas we are going to have what we call a run, which means that there will be elections for federal constituencies in those areas affected on Saturday, alongside with the governorship and House of Assembly elections. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Now, there's one, we won't complete this interview if we don't mention this particular one, the welfare of majorly the hard work staffs. That mostly the NYSC, the youth corpers, what have been put in place, in terms of remuneration, in terms of their safety, because we also saw videos where, some youth corpers, were beaten. What has the commission put in place, to ensure that the youth corpers are safe, the hard work, even the staffs of INEC, are safe, come this governorship election?
Yes, even in all elections, I would like to say that the staff of the commission, both ad hoc and permanent, are insured for elections. So we take care of all those that the commission takes care of the welfare, in terms of remunerations, and also when there are incidents that could affect any corps member adversely or even a permanent staff in case of injury or extreme cases loss of life, which we thank God in Lagos we've not really experienced since for a long time, and those things are put in place. And as for security, I must say that we work together with the security agencies, and even since after the last elections, we've reviewed what happened, and we had a meeting with ISES, that's consultative agency for election securities, committee on election securities. We had a meeting on Tuesday, and we reviewed everything that happened, and they've put so many things in place to make sure that we don't have a reoccurrence of what happened in the last election.
Then for the safety of the youth corpers, like where they will stay, the rack centers, I remember the day the election was postponed, we had incidences whereby we saw videos, pictures of especially the youth corpers, staying in area rack centers that they don't even have mattresses. What has the commission, especially in Lagos, because now we are focusing on the gubernatorial election, which is Lagos State now, what has the commission, Lagos State Independent National Electoral Commission, put in place to make sure that these people, will not have a reoccurrence of that, and the rack centers will be well, taken care of?
Yes, of course, you didn't look at what happened in the last election. By the last election, 2 weeks ago, we had already put in place everything that has to do with the rack. And the corps members, not just corps members alone, every ad hoc staff stays at the rack. you know, and everything was put in place, and nobody complained in the last election. So it shows that by the 23rd, everything had been put in place, yes. And we're also working in the same spirit to make sure that they are comfortable at the centers.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. In terms of the coalition, will they use, what's it called now, the card readers? Because we read in the national dailies where the commission says there will be, where there's no card reader, there will be no election there, that there must be a card reader. But in the last election, we saw places that, you know, results were collated, counted, that they didn't use card readers. You know, most of the, some party agents reported that card readers were not. Are we going to have a reoccurrence of that? Or the commissions have positioned themselves, you know, to make sure that all polling units have card readers? And where the card reader doesn't work, what's the commission stand?
Okay, in the last election, we maintained the use of card readers in Lagos State, and the commission is of the opinion that we will not do manual accreditation. So every polling unit has a card reader, and in Lagos State, like every other state, we have backups. And the commission also has made provision, trained young people we call RATEX. Those are, you know, people who are trained to handle the card readers at every point. So they are in all the registration areas, even in the local government areas. And the commission has also provided mobility for them. So once there's a call at any polling unit, they will go with a backup. If it's something they cannot rectify immediately, they will change the smart card reader and continue. All they will need to do is just to configure it. The accredited figures will stand, and then they move ahead. So in this election, the commission is maintaining this standard. We must use card readers. Those, well, I can't really say in Lagos areas where we didn't use card readers, but everywhere that card readers were not used, the results were cancelled.
Yes. So with those results, we didn't rerun, we didn't have a rerun of election in those areas.
Well,
it's total cancellation, like it's not going to count.
No, if for instance the fault is from the card reader ourselves, then you will know that it's amongst those that are going to do the run. But in a situation where the citizens say no, we will not use card readers, it will not affect the result.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And lastly, the voters, yeah, to come out, so the voters now. Let's, because those are the major stakeholders, the electorate. How is the commission, you know, going about ensuring, you know, that these people's trust is gained again? Because of, especially because for the very first time, Lagos experienced, you know, some pockets of violence in some, you know, polling units. This is something that has never happened in a very long time in Lagos, you know, as far as the election is concerned. What's the commission doing as to sensitizing the people and, you know, making them gain that trust to come out knowing that their safety is guaranteed?
Thank you very much. The commission is actually interacting with all phases of stakeholders, the religious leaders, the political leaders. We are also interacting with all voters at every level. We've spoken with the traditional leaders also to talk to Lagosians that whatever it is, the commission is, you know, we are up to the task to ensure that their security is ensured this time, because we are working with the, like I said, with the security agencies, and we've met and we've looked into the areas where, you know, we had issues and ways to combat such problems. So we encourage Lagosians to come out and vote en masse. Their vote is their power, and by the grace of God, we will not have any incidents this time.
Yes, ma'am. We can't complete this interview without mentioning vote buying and vote selling. That's one language that that always come up. You know, we experienced the Ekiti election, we experienced the Osho election. You know, what's the how do I put this now, between the commission and the security agents as to apprehending those people that would come, to polling units to either sell or buy votes on that day?
Well, you see, we've done our own part by ensuring that the setting of the polling units, the setting now, general setting, does not give room for people to print and show their ballot papers to whosoever. And we've also said that people should not go into the booth with their smartphones. So there's nothing like taking photographs. And I also know that the security agencies, they also have their own plan on how to handle vote buying. I must say that we didn't really have cases, reported cases of such in this last election, where there was a blatant, vote buying and vote selling. And I believe that the security agencies have also put certain things in place to address that issue. We also encourage the press to help us, you're part of our stakeholders, to speak against it. We also speak against it, and we speak with the stakeholders, and the commission is outrightly against vote buying and vote selling.
So viewers, there you have it. We've been speaking and interacting with Mrs. Ijoma Ibokwe, the head of Voters Publicity in Lagos, Independent National Electoral Commission, Lagos State. And like she's said, come Saturday, please do come out en masse and vote for the candidate of your choice. Your security is guaranteed. And for those who are planning, to disrupt this election, trust me, there will be no way, for you, because security agents are going to be, on standby to make sure that this election is free, fair, and very credible. This is Citizens Information Network. My name is Raphael Wanere, and this is Focus 2019.
Senior correspondent CNI, that's CIA. I have told you that I'm in the premises of Dr. Abi Musa Kunkusu, the presidential aspirant, 2 times governor, Kano Central Senator. As I've told you, we have a lot of supporters, and they are now happy because the court case was rejected out. That means their candidate is still on life. They are all ready to vote their candidate. I'm here with a gentleman who will introduce himself. He wants to say some few what do I call it? So few points on the issue.
Sunana Alajar Mai Ahmad Manager. Alhamdulillah, ba abin da za mu ce da Allah sai godiya a bisa wasu jita-jita da ake yadawa na rudu kotu ta hana ɗan takararmu tsayawa. To yau Allah cikin hukuncinsa an je kotu ta kori wannan ƙara. Ta tabbatar mana da cewa ɗan takararmu Abba K. Yusuf yana nan daren dam. Muna kira da matasa yara su fito su dangwala wa Abba K. Yusuf zaɓen Abba K. Yusuf shine amsa domin a taimaki jihar Kano daga cikin wannan hali da take ciki na masu haraji waɗanda suke yaudarar mutane da ƙarya abubuwa na alkhairi wanda injiniya Rabi Musa Kwankwaso wanda ya aiwatar lokacin gwamnatinsa. In Allah ya da injiniya Abba K. Yusuf shi zai dora, zai ba yara free education, zai ba yara uniform, mata za su haihu kyauta asibiti, in Allah yadda za a ba wa mata jari, kiwon awaki, kiwon zomaye, abubuwa na alkhairai wanda jagoranmu injiniya Rabi Musa Kwankwaso ya yi mana a jihar Kano. Kowa ya san jagoranmu injiniya Rabi Musa Kwankwaso mai faɗa ne da cikawa. Gaskiya ne. In ya ce zai, in ya ce ba zai ba. To muna adda Allah wannan zaben da muka shiga Allah ka ba mu nasara, Allah ka ba mu nasara, mu cinye zaben mu gaba daya. Assalamu alaikum.
A yalla bai kamar yadda ka shirya zaben nan na ran Asabar, akwai 'yan takara wajen guda barkatai. Akwai a PDP, akwai a PRP, akwai a GPN, ka hada mai tattabara da kuma shauransu. Wani irin tinkarar wannan abu zan ku a ranar zaɓe?
Kowa ya san ɗan takararmu ɗan takara ne mai kwaliti. Kowa ya gani lokacin da ɗan takararmu ya rike kwamishina na ayyuka, duk ayyuka da alheri da injiniya Rabi Musa Kwankwaso ƙarƙashin ofis ɗin ɗan takararmu injiniya Abba Kabir Yusuf aka gudanar da wannan. Saboda haka ina gani zaɓin Abba Kabir Yusuf shine amsa, da duk wanda ya san me yake yi shine amsa ya fito ya zaɓi jajjattaccen gwamna mai kishin jihar Kano, mai kishin matasa. Wannan gwamnati ta matasa ce. Matasa ana yi muku gori, ana cewa ina matasa, to matasa ga aiki a gare ku, a gaban ku fito mu ga wannan gwamnati ta butula ta mayaudara domin a kawo mana canji a jihar Kano da ayyuka na alkhairi a jihar Kano.
The inside promises of Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. You know, Sir Kwankwaso is a very powerful man for politics for Kano. Kwankwaso carry many people who go vote. Then they call them Ndongole. That Ndongole, now me Kwankwasia. And Kwankwasia, they're powerful in Kano. I didn't say his promises. With me here, I want to talk to one of the closest person who do town. You want to tell us how they win the case, how they grab better result for case? This is somebody. If any, I'm telling you. Just want to get a little bit
Assalamu alaikum. Sunana Kabir Muhammad Bebe. Ni ne chairman na Kwankwasiya Nationwide Motors chairman. Checkpost da ake magana wannan wani farfaganda ne da gwamnatin jiha ta shirya kuma abokanan kamayya na tsohuwar PDP. Kuma wannan abu da suka shirya tsakani da Allah mu dama bai yi tasiri a zuciyarmu ba, sai dai mabiya da suke ta kokari su karya mu gwiwa. Amma alhamdulillah a wannan daidai wannan lokacin da suka fito da wannan farfaganda mun yi kokari mun bi tsari ta yadda suka bi, mun yi appeal kuma alhamdulillah mun samu nasara tunda kotu ta ba mu dama dan takararmu ta tabbatar mana da cewa shine dan takara. Kuma dama ba mu dakata da shirin da muke ba. Abba Kabir Yusuf shine cikakken dan takarar gwamnan mu na jihar Kano. Kuma insha Allah Allah zai ba mu nasara, muna da nasara. Shirye-shirye da muke yi ba mu dakata ba. Kuma akwai nasara tare da shirye-shiryen da muke yi. Insha Allah mun shirya tsaf za mu kada su ba tare da wata wahala ba insha Allah.
Yanzu ga shi kamar a nan Kano akwai jirgin all these youths you are seeing, they are his supporters. And this gentleman here, this young boy here wanted to say some of his reaction towards the court issue that they just win in a court case recently.
Sunana Hafizu Abubakar Magaji alias Hafiz Geba. Ni ne shugaban 'yan saukalin jihar Kano. Ba kuya nake kuma ba na fatan wani ya gani ko kuma wannan an kira na ma gwamnati da zo in karɓi mota da wane ne na ganduje, amma na ce ba zan zo ba. Yau tsawon kwana 8 kenan. In zo in karɓi mota in koma tafiyar gandujiya, na ce ba zan ba. Halaccin da mai girma Rabi Musa Kwankwaso mu amana da shi ba. A cikin kurkuku na samu kaina na matsayin wani hali na tsayancin rayuwa, amma na zo na samu kaina fili yanzu gashi ina rayuwa ta life. babu wani tunanin wani abu duk da ba mu da gwamnati ɗayan wajen shekara nawa.
To ga shi na asabar za a yi zaɓe.
Wani asabar za a yi zaɓe mu ba ma tunanin wani abu. Ba ma ɗaɗɗun wani abu. Sun ce da tsiya za su kawo gwamnati kuma da Allah da Annabi da shi.
And I'm sure there are a lot of youths that normally contribute a lot for him. Here I am with the
Sunana Alikatako. Ni zaɓe abin da ke gawa matasan. Abin da nake gode wa jama'a, nake gode wa Allah, nake gode wa jama'a a matsayina na ɗan jam'iyya yaron da Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso, gwamnan gobe. Amana! PDP! PDP! Kwankwasiya! A matsayina na Alikatako, kwamandan askarawa a lokacin Dr. Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso. Ni ɗan daba ne da, amma sanadiyar Dr. Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso mun samo matasa aiki, Karota, Cooperative Security, Kanabda, saboda haka ina ga matasanmu na jihar Kano. Dan Allah dan Annabi ku zo mu fitta jaki daga duma domin mu fitar da A'i daga rogo. Matasanmu su samu aikin yi, su fita turai karatu, kowa ya samu abin da zai yi, sana'a, komai da komai. Saboda haka ina gaya wa matasan jihar Kano, wallahi tallahi mu fita ɗaya ce, mu bi tsarin Dr. Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso, mu zaɓi Abba Kabir Yusuf da izinin Allah ya zama gwamna. Matasa, Kwankwasiya! Kwankwasiya! Jagoranci! Najeriya! Allah ya ba mu sa'a.
Kwankwasiya have many different type of branches. You get Islamic department, you get Islamia, you get Ulama. Now I'm talking to Ulama chief. That's the chairman of Ulamas in Kano State under Kwankwasiya. And he wanted to narrate their success towards the court rejection of what they did to their aspirants. Assalamu alaikum. Bayani da ji me ake kalli kyamara da buɗe muna su.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah wannan rana ce mu rana ce ta farin ciki ya dade wa Allah. Sakamakon irin nasarorin da Kwankwasiya take samu a jihar Kano da ƙasa baki daya. Wannan nasarori ba daga kowa suke zuwa ba, suna zuwa ne daga Allah. Kiran da zan yi wa duk wani ɗan Kwankwasiya na jihar Kano da na Najeriya da ma na duniya gaba daya ku dage da gode wa Allah. Sannan kuma zan ja hankali ga ɗan uwanmu malamai waɗanda suke hawa mumbari da waɗanda suke da'awar musulunci su gane cewa ga ɓangaren da za a taimake su. Idan ka ɗauko hizba a jihar Kano babu wani wanda ya kafa hizba da shari'ar musulunci irin mai girma Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso. Sannan kuma ya kafa mana board na Qur'ani da Islamiyya da tsangaya da Islamiyya da tsangaya da Qur'ani. Muna kiran malamai ga baki ɗayansu, ƴaƴansu da matansu da duk wani mai son ci gaban jihar Kano ya zaɓi jam'iyyar PDP ƙarƙashin jagorancin injiniya da Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso, kuma a tabbatar an zaɓi Abba gida-gida. Abba gida-gida ɗin nan rahama ce, alheri ne, haske ne, daraja ce, ɗaukaka ce. Kuma Abba gida-gida ba mutum ne mai ba, mutum ne mai magana ɗaya, kuma ba ɓarawo ba ne, ba fasiki ba ne, ba fajiri ba ne. Don haka jama'a na jihar Kano ba ku da wani ɗan takara wanda za ku zaɓa fiye da Abba gida-gida. Ta kai dama an gama take shi. Ganduje dama ya riga ya gama tafiya ƙasa, saboda babu wani mai kwaliti a jihar Kano sai Abba gida-gida da shi da mataimakinsa Comrade Amina Abdulsalamu. Muna kuma roƙon dukkan wani wanda ya isa ya gaya wanda zai ji, ya gaya masa cewa ranar zaɓe mu fito kwanmu da kwarkwatanmu
matasa wannan ranar ku ce, tsofaffi kuma ku fito, ba maganar gudu da ja da baya. Kuma ƙarshe muna addu'a Allah ya ƙara jagoran mu lafiya, kuma Allah ya sa mu samu nasarar da muke neman ta, sannan kuma duk wani ɗan kwankwasiya Allah ya cire masa tsoro, sannan ranar zaɓe mu tafi muna hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil, ni'mal maula wa ni'mal nasir. Saboda haka mun gode da wannan al'amura.